We can now take a deeper dive into one of the 15 emotional intelligence skills called stress tolerance or stress resilience. And really, what I want for us to think about is how does resilience apply in our current environment? So let's take a look at that now. And the first thing that we need to do is really consider the modern world. So, where do we find ourselves right now in the modern world? Well, we find ourselves, and let's say pre-COVID, things were moving extremely fast. And so we were rapidly evolving in terms of technology. Everything that we've done has been radically evolved. The way that we work, the way that we engage, the way that we watch movies, right? The way that we make purchases online has been exceptionally and exponentially changed as a result of technology. And what's amazing about that is technology is supposed to make our lives easier. And in fact, it does. And it's supposed to save us time. And in fact, it does. But what's amazing is instead of us having a bunch of free time, what do? Well, we just fill that time with more and more tasks. So alternatively, what happens is as technology picks up, accelerates, and advances, we actually end up more and more and more busy. And keep in mind, this is actually pre-COVID. So this is not even necessarily, what is happening right now. When you factor COVID in, what's happened is what normally would happen technologically in 10 years has happened in 1 year. Things are moving really fast, and we have to be able to adjust. We have to be able to change. We have to be quick. We have to be able to pivot. And we also need to be able to manage and deal with the stress and challenges of really not knowing what's around the corner and what is going to be happening next. So the next slide does show us some numbers about how we're currently experiencing and dealing with stress. And keep in mind, interestingly enough, this is actually pre-COVID. So pre-COVID, 52% of workers say that they are stressed at work on a daily basis. And that's actually shocking to me. I would expect that would be a little higher. Next one, 60% say that work-related pressure has increased in the last 5 years, pre-COVID. So let me ask you this. In the last year, has workplace pressure increased for you? Would that still be 60%? I would say probably 100% of us are going to say that workplace pressure has absolutely increased over the course of the last year. Next one, 46% of HR leaders say that burnout is responsible for up to half of turnover. So almost half of people leaving an organization, HR leaders are saying in some way, shape, or form is attributed to burnout. And so what I want to show you now is the relationship between performance and pressure and how that's connected to the experience of burnout. And so what you find on the y-axis is performance, and what you find on the x-axis is pressure. And in the first zone, which is the comfort zone, what you have there is low performance, low pressure. There's nothing there. There's no energy. There's no momentum. We're comfortable. We're bored. Then as performance begins to pick up, so we start to actually perform more, and pressure begins to pick up, when we get to the apex of that experience, what we find is the stretch zone. So this is where there's just enough challenge to keep you motivated, to keep you engaged, to keep you performing, to keep you awake, to keep you alert, to keep you aware. And so what we see after that is if the pressure continues to increase, so if it continues to go up, and then our performance then starts to go down. And so this is where we start entering kind of into the panic zone, where our performance is not where it needs to be, but the pressure continues to go up and it continues to accelerate. And so in my experience of working with professionals, many of us are actually falling within that zone. So we're finding ourselves right there in the panic zone. And what that means is that we have to find a better way to deal with and manage the pressures of our environment.